Hi friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be planting some poppies in my garden and I am using the scatter method for these poppy seeds. I had really good success with them last season. I still remember on Valentine's Day, I just took these seeds and I scattered them around in my garden, and I was so delighted with beautiful blooms all throughout, late spring into summer. And I am going to use the exact same method again this year, and I'm super delighted to try some new varieties of poppy. And I also have like a bunch of seeds that I saved from my own poppies. These are the, I think these were the black swan poppies, and they were this really intense burgundy colored, double ruffled, almost peony-like blooms, and they just looked gorgeous. And look at how big these seed heads are. They are ginormous. And I can only imagine how many seeds these are. I don't probably need all of them, but I will plant some in my garden today, and here are some other seeds as well. So these were the red Flanders poppy, and I think some Himalayan poppies as well, but I am not really sure because these are all mixed up. So it's going to be a cute little surprise whatever happens with them and when they decide to germinate. So I'm really excited. But I also do have some other varieties that I'm also trying today. So I have these heirloom poppies. These are Lauren's dark grape. This is a seed mix by Renee's Garden. I've used their seeds before, and they are pretty good. And I actually bought this last year, but I never planted them. So this is another mix that I want to try. It's almost looks like a similar color to the black swan, but I think more purple this one is. So this one is very exciting as well, and it has really big blooms, about 4 to 5 inch big satiny blooms in a deep shade of ruby purple. So really excited with this color as well. And then these here are field poppies. These are Flanders field, and I think these might be the same as these other seeds that I have. So I am pretty sure that's what this is, but regardless, I love them, and I think I will scatter these as well. I love the red poppies so much. They are like, this is what poppy is in my head when I think about poppies. So I have to plant these, and they are just gorgeous. The other ones that I want to try are these ones called Falling in Love. So Falling in Love is just, the picture is so pretty, and I hope they look just as pretty or even prettier when they bloom, because I just love all the variations in the colors, and some of them have these double petals. So they again, this one has a combination of double blooms and single blooms, and they come in colors of crimson, rose red, white, and peach. So it'll make a nice array of colors. And what I like about these is that they're not too tall. They only get about 2 to 3 foot tall with those flowers, and they are going to bloom in the spring. So pretty excited about them. So I have this one from last year, and I ended up picking up another packet of this as well. So it'll be exciting to see how these do versus the other ones, and if there are indeed different varieties in here, because they are pretty. So again, this is gorgeous as well. And then I have a Californian jelly bean poppy mix. So this one looks like a double roughly kind of poppy, and it's got all of these hot colors which are gorgeous. So again, these are double blooms. They are they've got a leathery kind of feathery foliage, and they will produce silk blooms and have the longest flowering period. So these ones I'm thinking I will plant in my front, because if they're going to bloom for a really long time, I would love to see them every day when I open my door. So this is something I'm thinking of planting in my front. And I might also scatter some of these seeds, the Falling in Love, and mix these up. And these purple ones as well, I want to put a few of them in my front garden as well. So I think, you know, because these packets have a lot of seeds and I don't think everything will germinate. So it's just, I mean, the method that I'm going to use, which I used last year, is just scatter them just right on top of the snow. We have some snow cover right now and it's melting. So it'll be perfect. As the snow melts, the seeds will kind of make contact with the ground, and because these are really fine seeds, they just need contact with the soil and they should germinate. And the other thing good about just scattering them now is that they will get the cold stratification period that they need to germinate. So it's still going to be cold for the next 2 or 3 months, and they'll have enough time to get that cold stratification, and then they will germinate when the weather warms up. So that worked for me last year. The only disadvantage of this method is that you don't know where you're scattering, you don't know where they're going to pop up. But the good part is they are very easy to pull out. If you don't want them in a spot that they've kind of congregated, you can pull them out, you can replant them. Or, you know, if you have so many, you can just pull some out. And that's what I did last year. I just pulled some out like weeds, and then, you know, let the other ones grow. It's almost like thinning it out when you do your seed sowing. So it's the same thing, and I think it's going to be fun. And you know what I'm really excited about? I have a side yard on the outside that you know, it just grows a bunch of weeds. So my plan this year is to scatter a bunch of these poppy seeds on that side yard, so that maybe if a lot of them germinate, it will kind of take over in that spot, and hopefully it'll be a sea of poppies there, at least for a short time, and I can enjoy them, and then they can from there on keep self-sowing and become a poppy patch instead of a weedy patch. So I'm not going to weed it, I'm just going to put them over what's there, because right now it's just a bunch of, you know, grass and weeds that are there. So my plan there is to slowly turn it into a wildflower meadow. So I'm going to actually start with these poppies today and put them in, and then over the summer months I will see how that patch starts to look. But in the very least, I will get a nice crop of poppies, and it's nice for pedestrians walking by to kind of see this field of poppies there, and they look so good in mass. So that's one thing I love about poppies, that they actually do look good, so much better when they're planted in a mass. So because I have all these seeds and I have so many seeds, I can totally take advantage of that and try it out this year. So I'm going to do that. So that's my plan today, and I thought I would take you along and show you the poppies that I was planting and let you know that I was going to do that today. And it is not quite Valentine's Day, but it's kind of become my thing to do for Valentine's Day, is to sow my poppy seeds and just scatter them around, almost as though I was scattering love all around. And I hope everyone is having a fabulous day wherever you're joining me from, and I'm really excited to scatter them. And as I go outside and I start putting them in my garden, I will show you little bits and pieces of where I am planting them. So let's go and plant these. What I'm doing is simply just cracking open these seed pods and removing these seeds in this little bowl here, so that I have them all ready to go when I'm out there planting. So as you can see, the seeds are really, really fine. They are poppy seeds and just really gorgeous. And if some of these little shells go along with it, they'll just decompose outside. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to put them all, remove them from their pods so that they become easy to sow, especially in that mass area that I was telling you I was going to sow them. So it'll just make my life easy when I'm going out there to sow them. So the seed pods are really nice. They have nicely dried, and they are actually pretty good. And they've dried really well. Actually, when I cut back my poppies, I hung them to dry, and the seed pods were really, really dry, and they're ready to go. So I'm going to put these, break them all apart, and create these bowls of poppy seeds, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to scatter them. As you can see, there is still a lot of snow everywhere, and this is the part where I had put in a lot of bulbs. So I'm thinking of actually scattering a few seeds here and few along my walkway driveway walkway here, and then I'm going to scatter a few on the other side as well. So I'm just going to randomly scatter them. There's no order to this. I'm just going to randomly scatter and see what happens this spring summer. So that's what my plan is. I just wanted to show you what the current landscape looks like where I am scattering the seeds, and I think they will look beautiful once they bloom. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you when I'm all done. So I am done scattering poppies everywhere in my garden, and if you ask me where anything is, I don't really know. So that's what I love about poppies, is the element of surprise come spring, summer. So I kind of just randomly scattered them everywhere in my garden, and you know, there's the red ones, the purple ones, the seeds I had, and everything else. So they are just so easy to kind of just disperse and spread. Like, it's not going to take you that long, but if you're really concerned about, you know, where they pop up and how they transpire in the garden, then maybe this may not be the best method for you. But I found this to be easy enough to do last year, and I repeated that this year, and I'll see how it goes. And like I said, it's very easy to pull them out if you find they're germinating in a spot or in a cluster that you don't like, or they need thinning. You can always pull them out, and the seeds are, you know, fairly inexpensive. I had a lot of my own, and you can save all your seeds, and you can do the same thing again next season if you love it. So it's nice to try it, and if you didn't do anything to it, they'll self-sow where they are. So that's it. I mean, I'm done planting this, and actually the garden is looking so quiet today with all the snow trying to melt, and I think I just caught the perfect window to do this today, because I was thinking it's going to get warmer in the next few days, and probably would be easier to do it then, but I think it's nice to do it in the snow and let the seeds just drop wherever they're going to drop when the snow melts. And I also finding a lot of rabbit poop in the gardens. It's everywhere, and I think the rabbits are around and they're getting busy. So I'm a little bit concerned about what they might eat up in the garden, but it's okay, it's wildlife, and you know, rabbit poop is good manure for the garden. As you can see, there's lots of it all over my garden. I think the rabbits are pretty active. They are doing their thing somewhere, nesting, having babies, but it's also a sure sign that spring is just around the corner. So a few more months, weeks remaining, and it'll be nice to see some life back in this garden. So I'm really excited for spring. I'm sure all of you are also counting down days, and in some places closer than we are to spring. So I hope everyone has a fabulous day wherever you're joining me from, and I just wanted to post this little quick video and tell you what I was doing today. So poppies are sown, and I'm excited for spring and summer. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you for joining me today.